Alright everyone, and welcome back to Assassin's Creed Syndicate. As you can see, we have changed characters, so I had to rather abruptly end the last recording session, so we're now starting again. We're still here, trying to, well, blow up a Templar. In the meantime, off screen, I have leveled Evie, and I plan to continue playing her as a character, given that the game says she is a bit more on the sneaky side, which I tend to prefer. And yeah, plan is to finish that here, and instead of then freeing Whitechapel altogether, we might roam London a little bit to enjoy the view of a rather polluted city of the 19th century. So, let's get down there.
How many crates do we have left to distribute?
Only about a dozen, sir.
And here we have our target, Harold Drake. Kill the target with a crate of dynamite. That's where we basically ended the last session, and let's see if we manage that without getting ourselves killed.
No bobbies in sight.
Good. Distribute the dynamite then, and carefully.
Very good, sir.
Crawling with guards here.
We want this to come into the blighter's hands without harm. No mishaps.
So that might be everyone. And I know I've said that hundreds of times. I really enjoy the architecture of that. This Victorian style, which we still have in London. It's amazing, I think. Dense crowds move past the guards. Do we have any crowds here? Oh, we have crowds, but none of them is moving. I guess that the kid we are listening to, or we are hearing, not really listening to, is one of the kids selling newspapers, so we're still in Whitechapel, so we have basically working class around us here.
Get your everyday essentials right here.
What are you selling? Yeah, sure, bombs. That's what I absolutely expect from somebody selling vegetables, bullets, knives, bombs, and treasure maps. And yeah, I spent some money on upgrading gear, so we have to get new one to progress here.
I'll deal with you personally.
She's acting a bit odd, but still, this is London after all.
Yeah, it's London,
Need help surviving
and I think this hasn't changed, it's still a bit odd. How do we get inside? So, let's just randomly steal stuff. Typical thing of every RPG.
Are you running from me?
I'm not running, I'm climbing. I was hoping that we could access through the roof somewhere. Ah, that was a tad too obvious. Anyways.
Soon all of London's blighters will be armed to the teeth.
Okay.
No bobbies in sight.
Good. Distribute the dynamite then, and carefully.
Very good, sir.
We want this to come into the blighter's hands without harm. No mishaps.
So the question is, where is the dynamite? Dynamite crates will explode when shot or ignited. I guess it's these, isn't it? Is that a dynamite crate? Let's try. Ooh. That worked.
What's she doing here? See that woman
Nothing.
there?
Nope, I'm not here. Where was our escape to the train? Other way around. I basically made the game sounds also a bit louder because I realized with the last recording that I was pretty loud in comparison to the game, so let's hope that worked. Escape the area. Let's do that. And we are safe. We're still in the first borough of London with Whitechapel, so I think it's just still a bit of training was fairly easy. Completed. So now we freed the second part of Whitechapel. Here we have the gang stronghold, and that was the one with the orphan for spying. That's a vault, collectible, viewpoint, viewpoint. Well, as I said, we kill the Temperor and then look for the other boroughs, so let's collect a few viewpoints before we get back on track with our quests. Want to see a bit of the city. There we have to go. I think from there up we might have a pretty nice view. And if we stay on the roofs, we might get there relatively easily. And yeah, I hear that sound, so there is a crate nearby, but I'm not looking for that right now. Given what you see, might be inside actually. Once I'm here, I can't get out of my skin, so let's try to find that. They are green, so these are our guys, I get. And it says there. Oh, they are our guys, good. It's not that we are responsible for any kind of havoc here. Let's get down. Oh, oop. Can I pick that lock? Yes, I can. Good that I skilled that. And what do we find? Colors. And £1. I am not really impressed. Oh, we made 1 ammunition, £6 altogether, and the color green. Yeah. Great, that's exactly what I was hoping for. I wasn't really hoping for money or resources or anything. No, I was hoping for colors, of course. Why we the Express price 1 penny. The evening newspaper. Original articles, political, social, and literary. Who's seeing me? Stealth killer messenger. Oh, that sounds nice. And as you see, I'm not easily distracted, not at all. See you around. And hop. I wanted to go there anyways, so let's speed that up a little bit. Where can we go? There. It's great that we have all these stable chains and ropes between the buildings. Not really suspicious at all. And here, and there. Given how the buildings look, this thing should really fall off as soon as somebody touches it, but it doesn't. Lucky for us. Unconquered City of London, suggested level 6, so we are really in a high level area now, which, given how unsuspicious we are, probably doesn't cause any issues. Oh, we have a Union Jack here. Up. And down we go. I hope I drop where I intend to drop. No, I don't. So, where do I want to go? Oh, let's go through there. Well, that's London of the time. Poverty everywhere. Basically a thing of... I wanted to read. Electropathic belt. Fitch's patent fire wheels. So we're in the time of industrialization, which also means that we have a really changing of social structures. The working class is now busy in factories, as we've seen in the first sequence, with not really high wages, to say this extremely optimistically. And so we have poverty everywhere, child labor or children basically begging for money. Nothing happened. Retrieve? What is that? Illustrations! Oh, we have that's the wrong button. Progression log, that's not what I... Is it in the database? Tutorials, I don't care. Collectibles. Illustrations. Speakers of Aqueduct in the Catacomb of St. Priscilla. Okay. So yeah, but the aqueduct we have, of course, we're talking about London, so we also have remains from Roman times, because it once was a Roman settlement. I mean, a couple hundred years before our time frame now, but the ruins or remains are, of course, still there. And what I also saw beforehand, oh, City of London, we haven't, no, that's what I read before, but we did have a new entry with Whitechapel, namely the market where we just killed the poor guy with the dynamite. Spitalfields Market. So I think it's time for another reading part, so let me just read it out to you. Spitalfields, an old neighbourhood in London's East End, took its name from the hospital that was built there in 1197, St. Mary's Spital. And by Spital, they didn't mean there was a saint called Mary who liked the spit when she talked. Ooh. The word is an abbreviation of hospital, and was generally used to mean hospitality in Middle English. So you see, we also learned something about historical linguistics. Isn't that great? Yeah, I know, I'm nerding. Which is the very opposite of spitting in someone's face. As Spitalfields became less of a field and more of a developed neighbourhood in the late 17th century, a silk thrower named John Balk acquired the rights to hold a market in the area every Thursday and Saturday. The market, which sold only fruits and vegetables, we saw that, was a quick success. Spitalfields, like most of the East End, was populated by immigrants to England, and shortly after the market opened, London experienced a wave of incoming French Huguenots who had just been expelled from France for their religious beliefs. We also see the constant link between England and France. Many of the French Huguenots who settled in Spitalfields were skilled silk weavers and sold their wares at the Spitalfield market. It wasn't long before the market became synonymous with this luxurious silk, and all of Spitalfields gained a very positive reputation as a result. In 1875, the market's lease passed to a developer named Robert Horner. Horner fought regularly with the Whitechapel District Board of Works over how the market could be expanded without disturbing traffic around the market. An iron and glass roof was built in 1883, and the surrounding shops were built over the next century. Spitalfield and the East End in general fell in esteem as time went on. By the 19th century, the silk makers had long moved on, and overpopulation and poverty led to a rise in crime. We are not meant here. We didn't commit a crime by just killing a person there. Not at all. The market remained an important fixture, providing the food needed to get through the day to those who could afford it. It's still there today, though in recent years it's fallen to corporate chains and stores that think charging 200 quid for a pillow with a cat drawn on it by art students is good business. Welcome to London. Oh, and if you're a Ripper fan, well, it's directly opposite to the 10 Bells pub, where the various of Jack's victims enjoyed a quiet pint while they still could. Raise a glass to them sometime. That took a very dark turn here. But yeah, that's basically where we just were. And that's also, I know I'm nerding about that. What I really like about the especially the younger Assassin's Creed games. Of course, it is fictitious what we're doing here, with all the assassins and Templars and that, but it weaves history in that, so it's kind of a reimagination of history, and it weaves in real facts about places, about people. I mean, we had Charles Dickens as well, so there is this truth to all the fiction here. I think it's a really nice mixture, and I know I'm repeating myself, it does look pretty gorgeous. Despite I wouldn't want to run through all the smoke here. This is as unfiltered as it gets. I'm really happy that the roofs seem to be quite stable. So where are we here? Can we get across? Of course we can't. So can we get down here without getting killed? Or rather to say, without killing myself here. Ah, that looks good. Sorry for destroying your plans. Wasn't my bad. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, we're here. Well, wine, spirit, stouts, porter, ciders. We're at the right place. No, just kidding. We're not getting drunk now. We're moving away slowly. Da da da. You didn't see me. I'm not here. Shit. Up there we have to go. New database entry. I constantly press the wrong button for that. Locations. City of London. St. Paul's Cathedral. You know, I'm in the reading mood anyway, so if you want, you can simply skip that if you don't want to listen to me reading that. But as I said, we have these landmarks that really exist, and we have this real history woven into that. And St. Paul's, of course, is important for London. The earliest church built on this site in the name of St. Paul dates back to 604 CE. It was made of wood and burned down 71 years later. Welcome to London, where everything constantly burned down. Subsequent churches were likewise wooden and likewise consumed by fire. Didn't I say that just? Until the chaplain to William the Conqueror, so after 1066, built the cathedral out of stone in 1087. 1087 is basically also the year where William actually completed his conquest. So as a very historical side note here, 1066, everybody knows that in terms of history of Britain, that William of Normandy conquered what was England at the time. He was crowned king in December of 1066, but then it took some years, namely into the 1080s, for him to really conquer the country by replacing the nobility, by replacing aristocrats, by French people he actually knew and that he trusted. And we also have archives of property, estate, wealth and all that, which was finished around 1087. So this is in a way the year that we can say his conquest was complete. This building would survive for 600 years. It's almost like stone isn't flammable. Bloke was a bloody genius. No shit, Sherlock. St. Paul's Cathedral was originally a place of Catholic worship and a centre for public activity. Trading took place in the cathedral as well as games of sport, despite objections from those in charge of the cathedral. When Henry VIII severed ties with the Catholic Church, St. Paul's became a Protestant cathedral, and although it went back to Catholic worship under Mary, Queen of Scots, St. Paul's became Protestant once and for all under Queen Elizabeth in 1559. Efforts to restore St. Paul's were delayed time and time again by such events as the English Civil War and the Great Fire, didn't I say London burned a couple of times, of 1666, which claimed that the cathedral was one of its many casualties. Legendary architect Christopher Wren, who was also in his only in his 30s, was hired to redesign St. Paul's before it was destroyed by the Great Fire, and he engineered the design and construction of a new, revitalized cathedral. By the 19th century, St. Paul's had once again lost its luster. Queen Victoria, the time frame we are in right now, remarked that the cathedral was dreary, dingy and undevotional. Funds were raised to improve the cathedral by such philanthropist as Maria Hackett and William Weldon Champagnes. But not Quofoot Derrick. Interesting. So again we have these historical persons woven into the game here. And yeah, sorry for reading out so much and rambling on about the history here. I mean, you can basically see when I'm in the reading screen, so simply jump ahead if you don't want to. So, things that happen daily in London, people climbing churches. And I really like the detail. I mean, we're climbing here and this whole building with all the reliefs, and I see all the detail that we have here. It is pretty astounding. So, enjoying the view of this huge cathedral in midst of London's smog and smoke. Oh, that didn't work. Sorry, here we have to go. And we hear the bells ringing. And upwards further. As you can hear the wind up here, it must be very windy. I mean, we could also have taken the stairs, probably. Can we get inside up here? No, we don't know how a door works. Oh, and the music to that, that's amazing. This is in a way what we expect of London at the time. We have a dense city, we have loads of inhabitants, hardly any green, and of course, towards the horizon we see all the pollution of industrialization. Oh, and here even more. Of course, close to the Thames, so we have all the harbour and all the industry work here. And we see Big Ben over there. We have to go even higher. And up we go. Oh my god. That looks so great. Also with it, as I said, with the smoke basically over there, so we can't see that far. And we see how crowded the Thames is. It was in a way also one of the hubs in terms of transportation for London. We have railroads, we have carriages, we have the Thames. All very busy here. And the music is so great. But I won't leap because I see that crate there. Fast travel unlocked. Let me guess, we get another colour into £1. No, a schematic for whatever. And of course, £1. We're getting so rich here. And because it's Assassin's Creed, and despite my issues with height, let's go. Jesus. Evie Fry. So, and let's go over here to the second viewpoint and we'll basically take the circle back to Whitechapel, I'd say. That means we have to go in this direction. I won't ask any questions why somebody put this heap of leaves here on the roof, given that we have no trees around here. Who basically collected that here, and who built the I don't ask any questions. It's convenient that it's there, because otherwise you would have jumped onto the roof, and that would have been the end of the game. Assassin dead. But let's not talk about logic here. I mean, it's a game, it makes sense within the game, as we always expect these things in Assassin's Creed. Can I get down here again without getting killed? So all the advertising, Abbott's Cocoa, offices, solicitors, printers, Hoptons. Yeah. Okay, let's get... So, can we... Oh god. Hi! That would have been pretty embarrassing to desynchronize now, because we basically dropped from a building. I'm not here. See you around, going.
Please spare me, I give up. I'm not gonna fight you.
No, go away, go away. Let's just steal a carriage and take the road.
Go on.
Bankers, of course we have the Union Jacks here. What we haven't, this is actually something that is a leftover from Roman times. You see, we have actually pathways for pedestrians, and the invention of that goes back to Roman times. They also had that we had basically areas for pedestrians crossings in Roman cities already. Of course we have the red letterboxes. It is really going through that. Let's make a checklist of London, Union Jacks, the red letterboxes, red mail, the traffic. People want to beat you up. So, sounds like London. Where are we? We have arrived. Let's park here. Somebody will take care of that. Oh. Kill criminals.
Nothing but the eyes, Quali.
Ooh.
Sorry, just my luck. Now take a look at what I've managed to... Wait there while I sharpen...
It wasn't me, I just stumbled by, so... Nobody really cares, everybody's walking past, like, oh yeah, there's something happening, I don't care, not my business. And up we go. Where are we? No, I don't want to know. Am I right up here, or am I too high for that? Why is there grasshopper? I do have questions, but instead of that, let's simply enjoy the view. Do we have a new entry? I'm a bit into reading. I think you might have noticed. City of London. The Royal Exchange. Did we talk about the hospital? Yeah, we did. Last recording. You know what? You know what's coming next. The Royal Exchange and its use as a center for trade was inspired by the browse at Antwerp. So we see the link to the continent here. Belgium, basically a financial and trading hub at the time, which had made Belgium the financial capital of Europe. I should stop talking and continue reading, because I read it out anyways. Ironically enough, Antwerp would be raided by the Spanish 10 years later, losing the nation's wealth and allowing England to take over as a new financial power. Thanks again, Spain. The main investor in the first Royal Exchange was a wealthy merchant named Sir Thomas Gresham. When the exchange was built in 1570, it featured a grasshopper. Ah, that's the thing we just saw. The insect on Gresham's coat of arms. That's why we have it there. On the weather vane and a statue of Gresham in the open courtyard. The statue was the only thing in the Royal Exchange to survive the Great Fire of 1666. Christopher Wren, we just read about him in about the market, was hired about the cathedral. Sorry, not the market. Was hired to redesign London a task about as big as being made editor of the internet. Sounds fair. And he envisioned the Royal Exchange as the centre of the city, with all of London sprawling out from it. The second Royal Exchange was open to the public from 1669 to 1838, when it was again consumed by fire. This is the story of London. As flames licked the bell tower, the last song the bells chimed was the Scottish tune "There's Nae Luck About the Hoose." I'm sure about the fact that they kept playing loud Scottish folk songs was in no way connected to the place being set on fire. I sense the slight sarcasm there. The third and current Royal Exchange was built on the foundations of its predecessors and opened by Queen Victoria on October 28, 1844. Gresham's grasshopper returned to its place of glory, where it has remained since. And we just sat on that. Which does sound wrong without context, but anyways. What is that there? Helix glitch. Anyways. Leap of death? I'm going to hate myself for that. Oh my god. Okay, everybody's standing around the corpses and nobody cares about that. Oh, they care about it. They stare at this like, oh, somebody is dead. I recognize that. So, people feeling important and knowing stuff. What do we have here? Sand bin. Ooh. Where do we have to go? I'd say we go back to Whitechapel. Sorry. Still a bit of a cold. And continue freeing that here. With that, we also gain experience, a few levels, so that we can then deal with the other boroughs of London. And this is so huge. I'd say the plan of the Whitechapel really is to just go through the different viewpoints, and we can use them for fast travel, and at the same time we get a pretty good impression about London, about its looks, and then dive into the story. So I usually tend to avoid main story for as long as possible, keeping myself busy with side quests, with exploration, which I think is the typical thing of open world, which is also why open world is something I partly tend to avoid, given that I spend far too much time there, given all the exploration, and I really can't say no.
I'm coming over and teaching you a bloody lesson.
Please don't.
I've got a score to settle with you.
I'm completely innocent here. I didn't do anything at all. And we are gone. Don't know what's going on here. Wasn't my bad. Oh my, don't see me. No. No. No.
There you are.
You're a
There you go.
It's dangerous! Slow down!
This is as slow as I can
Here now.
actually move with the controls. It was like, low, slow down.
Come on.
I can't go any slower here. And honestly, who goes slow in a game? I mean, has
There you
anybody
go.
ever driven slowly anywhere in any game? Just imagine people playing GTA, whichever number, and then taking into account, you know, traffic rules, like stopping at a red light. Who would do such a thing? Let's speed it up a little bit, take the next bridge, without crashing.
Here now.
Let's leave the carriage. Bye, horse.